Hello there and welcome to Trope on a Rope, the show where we x-ray the luggage of Hollywood to see what it's packing before slipping on the blue gloves of chat and having a little poke around its most sensitive of cavities. This week we've come to the end of our ascent into the lofty heights of Stakes on a Plane, high altitude shenanigans, high octane action, and high aeroplanes, because that's how they work. This week we're looking at 1996's Executive Decision. And as I promised in the first episode of this series, now I deliver a scene where the main character tries to land a plane by himself. My name's Jeff, and my co-pilot is Mr. Colin Gerard. Word up, you big bastard.
Good job with the intro there. That was fantastic. You just made my shit day just became a little bit brighter, and I will continue to spread the sunshine to others that I meet.
All right, shall I just dive straight into this then?
Nosedive, if you will.
Executive Decision follows the story of Steven Seagal's Lieutenant Colonel Austin Travis. You know it follows him because he has a badass name and his face is on the box, sometimes. Anyway, a bunch of terrorists take over a plane for various reasons, and it's up to Lieutenant Colonel Austin Travis to save the day. Problem is, he's surrounded by fucking nerds, and you can tell by his face that he can't stand them. But blinded by his hatred, he accidentally falls out of a plane like a chump, leaving the nerds to save the day and get the girl, while he's left to be gravity's bitch.
Yeah, I gained a lot of respect for Steven Seagal in this movie. I totally forgot what happens to him.
It is weird because like he's on the cover of the DVD sometimes, depends where you buy it.
I mean, most actors like don't like to be like, especially like an A list. Well, is he A list? He was back then, wasn't he?
I think he was B.
But he's usually the main person in his movies, right?
Yeah. And
then to be, I don't want to say it for the future if anyone hasn't seen it. It will ruin the conversation later, but 2-1 for the team. Fair play to you, mate. Even though you're a complete dick in real life. And since I couldn't remember Executive Decision, I fully expected the last 10 minutes to involve some kind of Aikido-based knife fight. But
that's what you normally expect from him. I was looking because weirdly, I was trying to see. I wanted to buy this film on like Blu-ray or something, but it's like 20 quid. They can fuck off with that. I'll wait until it's 6, and it's in a Steven Seagal box set. Like, really? He biffs it like at the 40-minute mark.
And it's actually a fairly long movie as well. It's like it's over 2 hours, right?
Yeah, it's 2 hours 20 minutes. This thing. So yeah, no.
And not only is it only 2 hours long, but the main like point of the movie starts all, like right near the beginning.
Yeah, no, it gets into it quite quickly. What are your initial thoughts then? Because we kind of crossed into this already. How do you feel about this movie in general?
I forgot that they've actually got quite almost an ensemble cast. They've got even some of the like the pilot is someone I recognized as soon as I saw him. The terrorist guy that is not in the movie at all until the one that the terrorists are trying to save. He's not in it at all. He's pretty fucking famous as well. Like everyone, there's loads of, maybe not the like best actors in the world, but definitely good actors.
It has a lot of the cast in this is proper stacked. I'm just looking up the cast to see who the pilot is. Ray Baker.
Who's Cap? I've seen him in loads of stuff. I can never remember his name. Cappy.
So Cappy is Joe Morton.
Joe Morton. He's brilliant.
He's the captain in Speed. He's the police captain in Speed.
Yeah.
And he's also Miles Dyson in Terminator 2.
Yeah. The scientist guy, right?
It's got Steven Seagal, who was like not many people knew that he's turned out to be a bit of an asshole.
Yeah. But I mean, no one really knew that, though, right?
No, you didn't know that at the time, but if someone told you, then you'd be like, yeah.
I wouldn't have been surprised.
Makes sense.
Apparently he's a bit of a dumbass as well.
Yeah, he's a bit of a dumbass. He's got Kurt Russell in, and this is like a few years after Stargate.
Yeah.
So he was
Jack O'Neill, was it?
Yes, he was Jack in that. So he was on a little bit of He disappeared for a while, and then he was coming back for a bit of resurgence as like an action hero.
Well, after Big Trouble in Little China,
Yeah,
had,
but that was
he had
80s, wasn't it?
yeah, he had to disappear for a while after that.
I don't think I've seen Big Trouble in Little China.
It's a fucking fantastic movie.
Is it? I will have to try and
in a kind of. I mean, it is because it's so shit, but it's a bit like Mystery Men.
All right, okay.
You can't hate it, but there's no way to like it either.
you've got to make a. Is it one of those films where you've got to make a contract of like, I'm going to accept this film for what it is, so let's.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's got early career Halle Berry. Yeah, she disappeared after Catwoman, wasn't it?
Again, because of Catwoman, she probably had to disappear for a while.
I'm not sure if it's because of Catwoman, but she got like the Razzie Awards for Worst Actress.
What, really?
And most people who get nominated don't go, but like Sandra Bullock got like Best Actress and Worst Actress in the same year.
For the same movie?
No, not the same movie. Although I think that has happened before. And so she turned up at the Razzies. She turned up at the Razzies. This is Sandra Bullock. Turned up at the Razzies. You know that in America that children have that little red carts that they pull behind them? It's like a very 50s toy.
Yeah, yeah. I know you mean. Like a little trailer.
Yeah, she had one of them filled with the DVDs of the film that she was nominated for a Razzie for, and she passed them out to all the audience. You get like Oprah Winfrey, you get a DVD, you get a DVD, you get a DVD.
Fair play. It's like sense of humor. That's good. I like that.
Halle Berry went on when she was nominated for Catwoman, like Worst Actress. She went to the Razzies, and you think fair play, but she entered into like a borderline drunk rant about how many people had fucked her over to get for her to end up in that piece of shit film. And you're watching it, and you're thinking, has she burnt a lot of bridges in this speech?
Oh, okay. And then is that when she vanished for a while?
And then she vanished for a while. So I don't know if it was just this is just my theory. I don't know if it was just Catwoman or Catwoman plus her speech just burning everyone at the Razzies.
Yeah.
Who else we got in this film? We got Hassan, who's the main terrorist, is David fucking Suchet.
Yeah, David Suchet. Brilliant. It's even got Oliver Platt in it.
Yeah. I fucking love Oliver Platt. David Suchet, who is, I don't know if like people outside of the UK know this, he was Poirot.
Yes.
For the longest fucking time.
Fucking love Poirot.
So he's mild-mannered. He's in Panto right now in Bristol down the road.
Really?
He's fucking Captain Hook as we speak in some matinee.
I would totally go and watch that. He's a good bad guy as well. Like what was the last movie we did? Was it with the English bad guy?
Passenger 57.
Passenger 57, like he was just like hammed it up way too much, and he couldn't pull off the quiet, sinister thing. Whereas David Suchet does the very gentleman, sinister thing really well. The bit where
he catches Halle Berry using the phone
and just punches her in the face.
Well, he slaps the shit out of her, and then he pulls a gun on her, like Charles Rain, who was insane.
Yeah.
That's the kind of bit where he did the weird sexual stuff.
Either the weird sexual stuff or just found some really convoluted way to make a shit one-liner.
Whereas David Suchet just fucking looks at her.
Didn't even say anything. And he looked like he looked fucking insane for a second, like he was cracking. And they said, no, maybe I shouldn't kill everyone today.
Yeah, it was so much more intimidating, just like him just fucking staring her down, then just going, "Oh, I'm a creepy bad guy." Oh yeah,
and his entire demeanor changes as well. Like just like it's like his veneer of rationality just slips away for a second. Yeah, brilliant actor.
You mentioned Oliver Platt. I've always got a fucking soft spot for Oliver Platt.
I love Oliver Platt as well. He's one of the actors that I can always remember his name, and I'm shit at remembering names.
He's always like a scientist or a fucking nerd or a senator or like a politician, right? Yeah. Those are his normal go-to characters.
He's never the best at his job. He's always got some kind of foible that makes him not quite competent.
Well, so he was the nerdy scientist in Bicentennial Man that made that robot into Robin Williams.
I've not seen it.
It's don't, it's shit. He's the evil chief of staff in 2012. He's in the West Wing as well at some point.
Yeah.
But he's in the brilliant and the best, in my personal opinion, version of the Three Musketeers.
Yeah. Oh God, he is, isn't he? He's the what's his name?
Porthos.
That's the one, Porthos.
Porthos.
I was about to say Bluto. And I was like, no, that's fucking Popeye.
And like he's in that cast. He's with Tim Curry and Charlie Sheen and Kiefer Sutherland and Chris O'Donnell for some reason.
Let's play a game of odd one out.
And he plays Porthos, and Porthos normally in Three Musketeers, mainly because of the name. He's always like a portly, like he's the biggest, the fat drink, the overweight drinker.
Like Oliver Reed would play in or something like that.
In that one, Oliver Platt, he's like, he's an alcoholic. Yeah, he's slightly bigger than the others, but he's like a fucking Lothario.
Yeah,
and you're like, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
completely. I'm on board with this.
Oh, I bet you recognized as soon as you saw him the policeman who's
police cop coming soon on NBC.
Police cop man. The guy that was on the plane, the undercover cop. As soon as I saw him, I don't know who the fuck he is, but I recognize him from loads of stuff. I think even the politicians and stuff and the advisors. Like the main guy, the president, I didn't know who that was. Didn't recognize him, but
right, that's the Secretary of Defense, not the president.
But then the senator on the plane as well. He's really famous.
Right, J.T. Walsh is Senator Jason Mavros.
Yeah.
Yes, he was in a fucking. He died 10 years ago by now.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He was that guy. You're like, oh, that guy.
Like a bit like Joe Leguizamo.
John Leguizamo is not that guy.
Yeah, that's true. Everyone knows who he is. He's fantastic. I love Joe. I'm not going to say his name. I'm just going to say Joe from now because I always say it wrong.
But yeah, JT Walsh is one of those that guys. That's a hard sentence to say. Where you and he's always a bastard.
Yeah, I've never seen him be like a good guy in anything. Or even if he is slightly a good guy, he's still a bit of a dick about it.
Who else is in this film? BD Wong is in this film.
BD Wong, who the fuck is that?
So he is one of the team that goes on the plane. He plays Louis. He's the guy from Jurassic Park. He is the scientist, Dr. Wu.
Oh, I know who you mean. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
He's the one who explains that all the dinosaurs are girls.
Yeah.
But have you seen the Jurassic World trilogy?
The Jurassic World trilogy? What?
Am I seriously breaking this bad news to you?
Yeah.
There are 3 Jurassic World films.
And I'm going to be honest, I thought there was 1.
Yeah, sadly there's 3.
Shit.
He's in them as well. And his character from the first one, where he's like the nice scientist who just explains stuff, he's like the bad guy in Jurassic World because he becomes a mad scientist with great hair, by the way, who keeps making all the hybrid fucked up dinosaurs, and at the end of every film he's running towards a helicopter with a briefcase full of research and money
and the little DNA things.
Yeah, as he escapes the latest thing that he's caused. So yeah, he's got a wild story arc in that film, whereas in this film he spends most of it chewing gum.
Yeah, and giving his opinion. I agree. He doesn't. Does he actually do anything? Or maybe he shoots someone at some point. Does he die? I can't remember if he died.
No, he doesn't die. No, he finds the bomb, and he shoots a terrorist on the plane, and the terrorist dies whilst shooting his own gun, which causes the hole that blows in the side of the plane.
Yeah, good job, mate.
So that was technically his fault.
That's what I was going to say about this movie as well. this movie ends like 5 times. This is the gift that keeps on giving. So, and now we have another crisis. Oh fuck! And another crisis. Well, that's all. That's definitely the end now. And another crisis. And one last thing about what I think of the movie in advance is I do like that they set up things far enough in the past in the movie, like far enough towards the beginning of the movie, that you forget about them. They go, oh yeah, I forgot that guy had hit a gun.
This film, before we get into it, this film is, I've always liked this film.
Yeah,
it's been one of my it's a comfort movie for me. When I was young, I always put it on in the background. Like if I was doing if I had like something that I had to do, I put it on in the background, and then by the time they're on the plane, I've stopped the thing that I was doing and I'm just watching the film.
Yeah, it's the best procrastination tool in the universe.
It is also, it's on a list, and we mentioned this last time. About it's on a list of Die Hard clones.
It's got a Die Hard clone.
I agree, because I think to be a Die Hard clone, you have to start. If they started on the plane, then it's a Die Hard clone.
If it wasn't a team of people saving the day, it might be a Die Hard clone.
Indeed. But I will tell, there is one bit in it, and I mentioned it later. The bit where J.T. Walsh, the senator, gets shot.
Oh yeah. Now that reminds me of the KK guy. That does, yeah.
The Coca-Cola guy from fucking Die Hard. Yeah, it's like
and the cocaine guy. He was obviously on
cocaine guy. Yeah.
And Coca-Cola. I love that character.
This is radio, Bobby, not TV.
I'm just so, oh god, it's so 80s. It's so unbelievably 80s.
The Rotten Tomatoes for this and IMDb are pretty close, by the way. IMDb is 6.5 and Rotten Tomatoes is 63%. So it's pretty much the same.
Seems a bit low. I mean, like it's not obviously not a masterpiece that deserves a 9 out of 10, but I don't know, 60.
I know it's not high art, and there's some bits that are ridiculous in it, but I'm just like, this is fun. It's harmless fun.
Good fucking movie.
Right, the film starts. The film starts with the right.
How does it start, Jeff?
The attack on like a Chechen mafia safe house to recover some poisonous gas or something. It's called DZ5.
DZ5, yeah. Some neurotoxin.
Yeah, neurotoxin that just kills you, basically. And Steven Seagal and his team go in. Collins, character called Collins, who's part of the team, he biffs it straight away. And they find what is essentially an empty room with like a pallet leaning up against a wall.
There was literally no reason for Collins to biff it. There was no reason for anyone to die. He was only introducing the team. And it was not like later they're like, God, I missed Collins. If only he was here. Like, he shouldn't have even been in the movie at all. And other than to point out that terrorists are bad.
In fact, I don't think that you needed to introduce the team at all. I think a different scene should have been here, and we'll get to that in a minute. But one of the worst things about this scene, and it happens throughout this film, the text on screen.
Oh, fuck. Yeah. 12:30 a.m.
They give so much. Yes, they give a time of day. We don't need to. And they tell you what it is, where it is, the time of day, who's in charge of the operation. Like they name Colonel Major, Lieutenant Colonel Austin Travers. Like we don't need to know.
Don't even need to know his name. We really don't need to know his name, do we?
Yeah, I think it's just the number of people on his team or something like that. And it's like it's green and what they're doing. And then when they find the empty room, it comes up again and says mission failed. And like I know, I saw. Because in the next scene, when the next scene is Dr. David Grant flying a PhD, we know this because it says on the screen, it says 3 months later. So I don't care if it's 3 months later.
3 months, 2/7, 2 days.
It says Dr. David Grant. He's just flying a little plane. It says Dr. David Grant, PhD, some of it, and says where he works as well. But it's in a different font than the previous one.
Breastfed as a child. Enjoys long walks on the beach.
Oh dear.
Family man, 2 children. Anywho.
Blood type.
Just in case.
Just in case. And so yeah, it's in a different font as well. It's in white. normal text, not computery text like the first one was, but it still has the noise going with it. So I don't know why they keep doing it.
Yeah, because like it reminds me of any movie that just tells you useless information or just can't be bothered to have it be worked out via the medium of a conversation that they're in, like in California.
Do you watch movies on TV much in Japan?
Yeah.
That are just playing naturally on television?
No.
So do you know about this thing where if a foreign movie is playing on TV in Japan, like Harry Potter, if they're playing like Harry Potter and Philosopher's Stone or whatever, and it's just on Channel 7 or whatever the fuck,
right?
When a new character comes on screen for the first time, it says their name and who's playing them over the top.
Really?
Like Hermione Granger will come up and it will say in katakana Hermione Granger and then Emma Watson in small writing underneath it. And it does it for every character, every time a new character comes on screen, no matter what film it is. But it's always just Western films.
That's weird as fuck.
So yeah, it reminded me of that. Like I know lots of films do this thing where they have like an establishing shot of something famous.
Yeah.
And it happens in this film a lot as well, where they show like the Capitol building and then underneath it's like Washington, D.C. Yeah, we know.
It's the fucking Capitol building.
We'll show Big Ben or something and go, London, England. Yeah, we know. But this one goes
and with Big Ben, it'll say London, England. Yeah, we know it's London, England. It's fucking Big Ben. 12:30. I know, it's a fucking clock.
It says it on the clock. But this one, it tells you the names of the two main characters. And I haven't seen that in a film before.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often. I don't know why they do it either, because they're obviously we're going to work out their names.
It's weird as fuck. Anyway, he's flying his little plane, right? He's getting instructions on how to fly the plane, and apparently he can fly a real plane in real life. Kurt Russell,
it's very impressive.
Like it's handed over to him to land it, and he's like doing all the things and checking everything. And it's like, oh, what am I forgetting? You're forgetting to fly the plane. That will come in handy later.
Yeah, see, that's a bit like the gun that was hidden. This is one of those little hidden nuggets that you kind of forget about till it reveals itself later.
It cuts to the airfield that he's landing at, and it says Frederick Field, Maryland. Do we really need to know?
Not really, no.
The name of the specific small airport from which he flies. He does land that's where he lands the big plane later.
Yeah, because even when he lands the big plane later, he doesn't go, oh my god, look, it's Maryland, Franklin Airfield. And you go, oh, I remember where that was. That's where he used to train. He doesn't say that, so you don't need it. He says, oh, that's my airport, because that's all you need to say, but we don't need to know the fucking name.
His pilot teacher, he says, look, you can go up by yourself. But then like a big black SUV turns up and like people and a woman steps out, I believe with a phone in her hand or something. And says, David, it's happened. And then it cuts to this like black and white, like jaggedly edited kidnap scene of El Sayed Jaffa.
Oh yeah. That's really weird.
Yeah, right.
Really fucking weird. Because like I actually forgot that character existed until he turned up on the airplane there.
That entire scene, if you watch it, like the number of scenes and the number of like things that happen in it, you're like, it would have taken them ages to actually shoot this. Because there's a car chase in it, there's a gun battle in a church at a wedding, there's fighting in corridors and shit. It's car crashes.
For a relatively pointless fucking scene as well. That's a lot of effort.
I think that this was a big full scene by itself, and I think that this was going to. This is my theory that it was going to be the first scene of the film.
Oh no!
But then they replaced it with the let's introduce Steven Seagal instead.
Maybe Steven Seagal needed more money. He's like, no, I'm not doing it for money in this one fucking scene.
Yeah,
introduced my team or something.
So it's weird. It seems like it should have been in the film more properly than it is.
Or not at all.
Also, I will tell you, because we've been talking about this text on screen thing so much, I've just thought about the fact that they show amazing restraint by not telling you where this is in the world.
This is the one scene that you'd actually want it. That's a really good fucking point.
Anyway, Dr. David Grant, he is sat in the most 90s intelligence office you've ever seen in a film.
Yeah, true. This film does just like shout 90s at you.
They're watching a CNN clone on big CRT TVs. Like, they've got a video wall, but it's only got like 3 tellies embedded into it.
Yeah. none of this good technology.
Big, like, thick black bordered TVs.
The big fucking. Elizabeth, when I saw it, I thought it looked more like a newsroom or something.
Yeah, the beige computers. Remember beige computers, big ass desktop thing?
I do remember.
Yeah, no. Remember when we picked that color for technology for some reason?
Was this this was pre-internet?
Early days internet, probably.
Because yeah, I seem to remember all of them. You know, I know it's obvious what I'm about to say, but all of the high class technology that they have is I love it. It's like watching Pong.
Yes, they've got. He has a well. She's like giving the girl, the woman from the car is like they're just talking about what happened in the previous black and white jumpy scene. He sat at his desk, and on the desk there's a beige computer with a black screen with green text.
Yeah, I remember those.
Just going and going and going, and then just scrolling up. I'm just like, oh fucking hell,
I remember those days.
Damn, that's 90s.
MS DOS.
Yeah, later MS DOS. There's I think they use like a very old version of Macintosh for a lot of this. Like the proper like white brick square windows, not a curved corner in sight, ne'er a bevel on nothing.
It's futuristic technology. It has to be sharp.
He turns up on the plane later. He's got a laptop which they connect all the video feeds to. He turns up with a laptop, but it comes in a suitcase. And looking back, you're like, oh, is it like military equipment? That's why it's like a suitcase size. It's like, no, it's just a laptop from the 90s.
Like the football that they use.
Yeah.
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 No, it's just a shit laptop in a suitcase.
Yeah, he just opens it up. It's just a Dell, if anything.
Why is it in a suitcase? Easier to carry.
Battery compartment. It cuts to Athens, Greece, because it tells you on screen. It also says 10 days later in brackets, and then it shows a quick like establishing shot of a plane landing, and I'm surprised it didn't just go
airport
plane. So yeah, everyone's getting on board the plane. By the way, the air stewardesses, one of them is, I did write it down.
Halle Berry.
It's Halle Berry's one of them. The other one is,
I recognize. Let me guess. I think I know who it is. Was she? Kim Cattrall? Kim Cattrall?
No. Oh, you're thinking of Alison. No, she's someone else. I don't know her name. No. One of them is Mara Maples.
I don't know who that is.
She is Donald Trump's second wife.
He must have liked this movie too.
Indeed, so. We then cut to London, England. We know because there's a establishing shot of a red double-decker bus. After the London double-decker bus, it cuts to the front of the Marriott Hotel London. It says it on the hotel.
By the way, I do love the establishing shots that they do in movies like this, where it's just like a picture of Big Ben, double-decker bus, Marmite.
Yeah,
cups of tea, people drinking in pubs. By the way, this is England. Thanks.
This piece of music. Dun 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 dun.
Just randomly the picture of the Queen. Those guys with the big tall bushy hats. By the way, we're in England. Thanks. Either or. Either tell me or show me. Don't do both.
So in London, England, at the Marriott Hotel in London, England, and then it goes and tells you exactly where it is in London, England. It's bombed by a guy during the dinner service, which is rude. It's bombed by the henchman from Crocodile Dundee 2.
Yeah, I had a note of that as well. But I was hoping I get to bring that up.
Also, the woman at the reception desk is a blonde woman who follows him in and goes, "Excuse me, sir. Excuse me."
Mm-hmm.
She is porn star Magdalene St. Michael.
I have no idea who that is, but okay. Is she famous?
Yeah, at the time, yes,
right.
I assume.
People had to wait 25 minutes to load up one of the pictures.
This was like VHS.
Okay, that is.
Yeah. Anyway, back on the plane, David Suchet it's the plane's in the sky now, and David Suchet changes out of his dumb disguise, and him and his men move into position.
They very easily smuggle some very naughty things onto the plane as well, without any problems at all.
As you said, they've got these easily smuggled on weapons.
A bomb as well, right? What?
And a bomb.
Best smugglers ever.
They normally when they smuggle like guns, like they take the guns apart and then those parts are then disguised as other things, like parts of a camera or something like that. But in this, they're just disguised as parts of a gun.
Yeah, and hidden in a newspaper.
Yeah,
to hide it from the metal detector, I assume. What's this? Well, it's not a gun because gun has a trigger, so you can have that.
Anyway, as they're getting into position, Halle Berry is talking with Alison, and Alison has just got engaged, and Halle Berry gives her a present, and in the present is one of those cake toppers with the couple.
No.
Because she dies like 5 seconds later. She goes down to the galley, and then someone else just goes down to the galley and kills her straight away.
Yeah, why do they kill her?
Like she's like only like how many people die in this film? I'd say 6 people die in this film, not counting the terrorists. By the way, they take the plane. The only person who dies is Alison. Charles Rain, who is not insane, by the way. He'd killed 4 people by this point.
Yeah, he was a mad dog.
Also, they've not shot anyone. They've all got guns, but they've not used them yet.
Which is good because they would have been heard and then still would have been able to take over the plane.
You know, you can't really use guns in planes unless you're Charles Rain, who did it with abandon. Here's a question for you. Should the air marshal have done something?
No.
So you agree with his actions? Hide his gun, hide his badge.
I think hiding his gun and hiding his badge was extremely clever because although he doesn't actually do it until late, he's waiting for an opportunity where he can do something that would actually be effective. But yeah, like I don't think that anything he tried to do in that situation would have been completely pointless. There's 6 of them; they've all got guns. He would maybe just take out 1 or 2 of them, and then they would still have control of the plane, and he wouldn't have like a hidden ace up his sleeve.
Yeah, because Halle Berry hides the manifest because the manifest says that that he's an armed air marshal.
Yeah, it's for the same reason, to keep him secret, so they got an ace in the hole.
All right, so they've taken the plane now, so we have to cut back to Washington, D.C. There's a establishing shot of the Capitol building, but still we get Washington, D.C.
Just in case we forgot.
So Grant, he's at this fundraiser for something, and he's wearing a tux. His macking game is fucking off.
Yeah. Do you like hockey is not usually my go-to line, to be honest.
Yeah, and he's like he goes to like the only woman. Like there's only 3 people at this event anyway. He goes to the only woman that's there, opens with his hockey line, and then immediately before she's even like finished, he's reaching into his jacket to get the tickets out.
Actually, I forgot his first opening line is actually what was it? He goes over and gives her a drink and says, "Looks like you need one of these." What, am I an alcoholic? Do I look pissed off?
Why, did you see me scratching?
It's not the best opening line. Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? May have been slightly better.
He gets called into a meeting with the Secretary of Defense, and everyone makes fun of the fact that he's wearing a tux, which he wears for slightly too long in this film. He even takes his tie off.
Yeah, okay. I agree with the tie part. I mean, I wouldn't have suggested he ran around naked. Though.
And they go through what's happened on the plane whilst Seagal is just undressing him with his eyes.
Yeah, he looks really pissed off at him.
Yeah, 'cause it turns out that when they went to that house at the beginning of the film, they were using intelligence that Grant had given them, and that they think Grant was wrong and it was never there, and Grant thinks that they were late.
Yeah. And Steven Seagal has this his main character trait, I think, other than being a bit macho, is he is extremely passive aggressive. He won't even talk to people. He just kind of whispers in someone else's ear and then doesn't say anything. And then eventually the guy goes, "If you got something to say, share it with the class." And he goes, "Well, we could do this. What is your problem?"
That general he whispers to at the meeting, he's in The Thing.
Okay.
I can't remember his name, but he's in The Thing with Kurt Russell.
Huh.
He's the guy whose head turns into a spider.
Nice.
So that's him. Also, later in the film, when the fighter planes ordered the plane to land at a different airport,
Yeah.
the name of the airport, I think it's like Thule or something like that, which is the name of the base in The Thing.
Huh.
So they bring up how to get onto the plane, and they bring up this idea, like Cahill, who is Oliver Platt's character, he's got this plane with like a little like concertina like tube that you can travel from one plane to another through this little tube. And even though it's Seagal's idea, even during the meet when Cahill's on the hugest laptop you've ever seen in your life,
Yeah.
giving the rundown of what's happened, he's still sat there like, "You fucking nerd,"
Right.
sat there in your fucking cardigan.
Yeah, I think to a certain extent, Steven Seagal was slightly pissed off that he had to be in like a 5% of this movie. I should be the main guy. I'm only in it if you'll put me on the fucking DVD box cover. All right, you can have a DVD box cover, Steven.
In some territories. Yeah, so the problem is that this thing was built to link with other aircraft that are built specifically to be able to be linked with, whereas this is trying to link with a passenger jet that's not designed to be boarded whilst in the air. And Steven Seagal, thinking that he's a bit of a smart ass, he goes, "Well, Grant has to come with us because he has to I think for intelligence purposes, like he has to ID Hassan or something like that."
Do you think that he did that? Obviously, he did it just to piss off Kurt Russell. But do you think he did it assuming that Kurt Russell would go, "No, I can't go," and then he could call him a pussy?
Oh, I couldn't possibly.
and then Steven Seagal would be able to say, "See, it's just a fucking pussy." But he did. He actually said yes, and he's like, "Damn it! Okay, I'll get you. I'll get you later. It's no worries."
I just want to take this opportunity to say Hassan has hijacked the plane because his demand is that they release Jaffa, who was the guy who was arrested in the black and white jumpy footage at the beginning.
Yeah.
During the meeting with Grant and Secretary of State, Grant says that Jaffa was probably arrested, like he was set up by Hassan.
Yeah.
To be arrested so that Hassan could take control. Yeah. So why are they hijacking the plane?
Oh, because you find out later in the movie. They know that most of the people in America don't know that he set them up. Their assumption is that America thinks that they want to save him. He didn't set them up, and he was just caught. So his plan is he wants to bomb America. It's got nothing to do with that guy. That's why he's so later in the movie he doesn't even think about. He talks to him on the phone, and he's like, "Yes, he's free, brilliant, great, but we're still gonna fucking bomb place because that's my actual goal." You were just kind of part of it, right? So basically, what's happened is David Suchet's character has set up that guy purely. He doesn't want that guy to be in prison because he's basically on his own side, but he's set that up as part of a plan so he can use him as a bargaining chip to bomb America. Yeah. So if that guy doesn't get released, he doesn't really care that much, but he would prefer him to be released. But ultimately, whatever that guy wants or says or does doesn't really matter either, because what he really wants is to bomb America.
If his sole purpose is to bomb America, why hijack the plane? Because you've got the bomb on the plane already, and you're sat on the plane and you've got the button, you control the button that sets off the plane. If you didn't hijack the plane and call attention to it, no one would have tried to stop it.
Okay, although everything I said was accurate, that is a fucking good point. I think what I just said his plan is correct, but you're right. His plan is pretty stupid. He could have just sat in the plane. Yeah, fair enough.
Even if you wanted to do the release, like if it because it's only a theory from Grant that he got Jaffa arrested, so maybe he does generally want Jaffa to be released. Why doesn't he use the get on the plane and hijack the plane to get Jaffa released, and then the bomb guy, who was just random, they don't even realize he's on the plane, and the bomb itself just be on a second plane.
But yeah, that is a good point.
That no one is looking for.
Actually, that would actually even be a better plan as well, because he could have hijacked our plane, and this other one, the bomb guy. Nobody, not even the team that was on the plane, knew who the bomb guy was until. So basically, you use the plane as both a way to get your friend out of jail and a decoy.
And a decoy, yes. So they're searching the wrong plane, and then just a random. I mean, I assume because of all of this, they would close down the airspace and stuff like that. But
maybe we shouldn't release this podcast. It might give terrorists ideas.
I know this isn't a terrorist handbook. We're talking about the film executive decision.
That's a very, very good point there. Yeah, I didn't think of that at all.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, he meets the team with like Johnny Legs and BD Wong and all that shit, and Johnny Legs goes, "Oh, who's this? 007?"
Good one, Joe. Good one, man. That's clever because he looks like
In John Leguizama's autobiography, he talks about this film and how much of an asshole Steven Seagal was.
Yes, I like it. I like Johnny Legs.
There's a story that, in a kind of like semi-method kind of a way, because Steven Seagal plays their commanding officer,
he kind of acted like he was in command of him.
He acted like he wasn't. So on like the first day, he walked in and he just went, "Right, I'm in command. What I say goes." And John Leguizamo just went, "Yeah, right, whatever."
You're in 5 minutes of the movie, mate.
He grabbed John Leguizamo and shoved him up against the wall, and they had a bit of a fight. And yeah, they had a massive.
Did he use his Aikido skills?
I don't know, but yeah. So yeah, they had a bit of beef. En route, they get on the plane, and en route, they run through the plan. The connection scene, the scene where they connect the two planes. They link up, and like it's a good scene. And like I like it when they get a bit of turbulence, when the big plane starts to pull up, and the pilot on the other one's like, "Oh shit, they're pulling up.
I'm going up with them."
It's a really good scene.
Yeah,
but the team themselves are shit at climbing ladders
and doing things quickly.
Yeah.
Like what's his name? Cappy. When he goes unconscious and he's like hanging down the chute.
Yeah.
Like it takes him a really long time to realize that Cappy's not trying to come back up. Yeah. If they just gone, "Cappy, you're right. I think he might be unconscious. Pull him up." Then Steven Seagal wouldn't have died.
Like they're trying to climb past him, and Grant goes up.
Yeah, like Grant goes up so that he can pull into the airplane, right?
Yeah.
There's already 3 people in the fucking airplane. Why aren't they pulling him into the airplane at this point?
Because they're in the airplane too busy falling against important equipment and breaking it. Inside the avionics bay. They're too busy doing that. Okay, so they've got an excuse.
They don't have an excuse. One, they should be fucking falling into the, like, why are they falling into the equipment anyway? It's not like just fucking pick up the guy from the chute.
So Cappy's upside down and they pull him up, and they're like, even like Steven Seagal tries to climb up, and they're like, "Oh, the fucking seal is breaking. We're fucked." Like they've got that little cap thing that covers the button that tells the pilots of the main plane that the door's open, but they keep dropping it every 5 fucking seconds.
Yeah. It's quite an important part of the plan here. This is what keeps us unknown.
There's a bit where, like, Steven Seagal dies because at some point he just falls off the ladder for no fucking reason whatsoever.
Yeah, Although he does heroically sacrifice himself, to be fair.
His body just fucking cartwheeling out of the
Yeah.
tube.
It is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in the movie. Brilliant.
He becomes gravity's bitch, but yeah, it's almost farcical how much they fuck up going up a ladder.
Yeah, and also how quickly they get over the death of their boss.
Yeah, because what is it? Johnny Legs. He takes command.
Yeah,
and he's not a dick about it either.
No, did they actually mention the death? They I think they mourn for about 2 seconds. Everyone looks a little bit morose for about 5 seconds, and then they go, "Right, let's get on with the mission. He's gone now. Fuck it."
I don't think it's the fact that they just go, "Right, fuck it, we got something to do." I think they sat there thinking about it, but then the co-pilot comes to check the room.
Oh yeah, that's true.
The alarm is going off, and that's why they snap out of it.
Very calm co-pilot as well.
Very calm co-pilot. I would have fucking shit my pants. And said, "Oh, there's a dude in this room where there shouldn't be dudes in rooms."
Just with his finger to his lips.
And the dude in the room just says, "Be quiet," and points to more dudes in the room.
Who have guns.
Who have guns and shit. I'll tell you what, though, when they are sat and for a moment and they're like, "Oh shit, we're stuck on this plane," and they take that moment to go, "Fucking Steven Seagal is dead." You know what would have been great at the moment? Like that very quiet moment. Just a subtitle that came up and went, "Plane." John Leguizamo, he takes command. He's not a dick about it. He listens to what other people have to say. Cahill has a mini freak out where he's like, "Maybe we should just hand ourselves in." So don't do that.
That would be productive. Cahill, yeah, good idea. How would that help anything?
Cappy's bust his back or something. I can't remember what happens to Cappy exactly.
He said his C7's like spine has been
dislodged. He's broke his spine there. So he's fucked. They've left half of their stuff on the other plane, and they broke something in the avionics bay, which means that when the co-pilot comes down and checks it out.
Which actually turns out to be a blessing in disguise.
Yes, but it turns out that they've got a few hours to find the bomb. They've got about because Washington don't know if they made it or not.
Yeah, because that's what they left in the plane is the equipment to contact them.
Also, like they had explosives and a bunch of other shit that they needed that they don't. So they have to slightly improvise now. So I think they say they've got like 4 hours and change to find the bomb and survey the cabin and find out who Hassan is.
3 hours and change, I believe.
They got to find out who Hassan is, but not even Grant knows what he looks like.
Yeah, he's only seen him in a photograph when he was a child, so he doesn't know how well he's aged. But he will recognize his voice apparently.
They run around the building. They crawl around all the little bit. And again, like we mentioned last time, like there's a lot of like extra space in these planes
with a lot of random cargo.
It's not as bad as Passenger 57.
Yeah, it's not. They got a lot less room.
They're drilling holes in shit, and then they're putting those like bendy cameras.
And it goes up right next to that guy's foot.
Also, they stick those cameras through the holes really far.
Yeah, they're like 3 inches out.
Don't they notice anything? I noticed that, like, when we talked about like previous films, especially Red Eye, none of the passengers do anything when they see weird shit.
Yeah.
When Halle Berry's in the galley and she's looking into the
elevator.
When she sees Grant in the elevator and she's like looking down and going, "Well, that was fucked." Like there's a passenger in the background who's just like side-eyeing her the whole time, like, "Fuck's she doing? What the fuck? Stop doing it!" And then like later when she's like doing the stuff to the camera and stuff like that, like the same passenger's like, "Fucking stop it!"
Yeah.
So do they see these things? Or just like, don't say anything, don't look like directly at it, but there's like a black worm thing that's like sneaking out of a hole in the ceiling of a plane.
Did I mention this?
Do I mention
to the terrorists?
Meanwhile, while all that bollocks is going on, Louis BD Wong is in the cargo hold with like the thing from Ghostbusters looking for
the bomb.
Looking for the bomb.
Can't remember what it's called in Ghostbusters, but I know what you mean.
Whilst they're setting up the cameras, Grant. This is where I made my note. Grant is like setting up the camera feeds for the most 90s computer you've ever fucking seen.
And like labeling everything.
Yeah, like a fucking brick of a laptop as well. Rat, he says, "Oh, I can't." He listens to like 2 conversations, and it's like, "I don't know if that's Hassan. I don't think it's Hassan." And then Rat gives up completely and says, "Right, just fucking come up here and have a look for yourself." And he goes, which I don't know why he does that so quickly. And he goes up, but he takes his shoes off, and then Rat's like, "Oh, I hope the smell doesn't give us away."
I do like Joe makes a lot of random quite good one-liners in this.
John Leguizamo, in his autobiography, which I might get for Christmas now, he said that he ad-libbed a load of lines, and that one specifically pissed off Kurt Russell.
That makes me really happy that they're actually ad-libbed.
Yeah, right.
Another good reason to fucking like him. He's obviously a funny guy.
There's a bit what he's going down. Halle Berry sees him in the elevator through the elevator door window. And then Hassan starts talking to her, and she covers for him.
But really obviously hiding the window of the door.
But Hassan picks it up because Hassan checks.
It checks, yeah. Because she really obviously hides it.
Because she's starting to walk away. He starts to walk away, and then he stops, and then he's just like, "No fucking move." Doesn't say anything, just moves her with his hand, and then looks down. And there's a great
above.
shot where he's. And John Leguizamo is up above, yeah.
No, so,
and he just goes, "Oh,
nothing to see here." I do like the bit where she checks the elevator just afterwards, and it's all been sealed up back to normal. She's like, "What the fuck? Did I imagine it?"
That's when I noticed the passenger in the back corner.
Oh, really?
I just going, "The fuck you doing now?" She finds though that scene. She's going through his pockets. She just finds his jacket on the side.
He has a really pointless drawing.
Yes, he's got a fucking child's drawing of Washington DC with like a blast radius in crayon.
It's just like boom. Yeah, we know what bombs do. You fucking moron. What purpose does this serve?
The thing is that they about a minute later they find the actual bomb. And the bomb's fucking huge because they've gone from the assumption that this bomb is for Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
But they look at the bomb and go, "This is fucking huge. This is going to wipe out the whole of the eastern seaboard. So your child's drawing is wrong."
It isn't accurate as well. And also, by the way, in the little book that she gets the little drawing out of, right? Yeah. And he unfolds it as the crayon drawing of a blast zone, which is obviously wrong. Not only that, but there's actually like 3 more pieces of paper because he doesn't realize that she's found the picture because there's more similar pieces of paper in there.
Yeah,
she only sees that one drawing. What are the other drawings of?
Yeah, right. What's the rest of the book about? Because he's later when the senator comes up to him. If I'm remembering this correctly, when the senator comes up to him later to offer his services as a senator, he's just sat and he's reading that little book, his little notebook.
And also, why is he reading it? Why is he reading it? Did he forget the plan? Does he have like really advanced dementia? So why am I on the plane again? Oh yeah, bombing Washington. I remember.
Or he's just looking at it. It's just like a list, and it's like step 3 ? Step 4 profit, and he's just like, "What is step 3?" So they find the palm. Cahill. They decided Cahill, who had a fucking nervous breakdown earlier, he'll help Cappy disarm the bomb because Cappy's job is to disarm the bomb, but Cappy's
is Cappy awake yet?
He's awake, but he can't move.
Yeah. Okay. He's got that duct tape holding his head down.
Anyway, they deactivate the bomb, or so they think. This happens a couple of times. They deactivate something, but then it turns out that there's something else. It's like a failsafe over a failsafe over a failsafe. It happens a few times during this fucking film.
Gift that keeps on giving as well. A bit like the movie.
They deactivate the bomb, or so they think, and they're about to storm the plane, trying to storm the plane to get Hassan and take back control of the plane. They've decided that Grant has to be part of the storm team. So they give him a shotgun.
Yep.
On a plane.
Yep. because shotguns are notoriously extremely accurate. They just hit only what you want it to hit. That's why that's a good idea.
Yeah, John Leguizamo says there's no way that you'll miss with that. Just point and shoot, and it's like, yeah, because everything in front of you will die.
Yeah, and also, like including the plane.
Yeah, but they're about to storm the plane. But that's when the bomb starts to make random fucking noises, and it turns out Palm Pilot guy has a switch that can just detonate the bomb straight.
And also like check on its status.
Yeah.
Which why does he check the status?
What does it come up on the screen of? Still a bomb.
Yeah. So, like it's really lucky that he happened to randomly check the bomb. Even there's no indication of why it wouldn't randomly disappear. It's not going to. Obviously, it hasn't blown up yet.
Yeah.
And as far as I can tell from later on in the movie, the only thing that's written on the Palm Pilot is active, detonated. That's the only two things that actually come up on it.
Bomb is bomb.
Oh, yep, still a bomb. Good.
So they cancel storming the plane because there's a trigger map. You can just press it whenever.
So basically, the true man just destroyed the entire terrorist plan.
How?
By checking the bomb, therefore indicating that there's a trigger man.
Good point. But it does complicate things for our heroes.
But
now the heroes know what to do.
Yeah, it complicates things in a good way, in a way that means they don't get the plane blown up. Because if they'd taken out the terrorists, then the plane still would have gone there, and he would have still been able to set off the bomb.
Yeah, but the bomb would have gone off over the water. They're not past the fail-safe point.
But they would have killed all the passengers on the plane.
Good point. So at least they get that. Meanwhile, back in America, the Secretary of State finds out the bomb maker's name, and we find out what he looks like, and they have no idea if the team is on the plane. So they agree that, right, okay, this is a serious thing. There's a bomb on the plane, so they decide to release Jaffa. And I believe this is when they send that it's an executive decision.
Yeah.
Or is that shooting down the plane later?
No, I think
that's shooting down the plane later.
It's shooting down the plane later, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So you can't if you're playing the drinking game where you can drink when they say the name of the thing, not yet.
And only once in this movie.
Only once in this movie. Also, if you're an adult human, you can just drink whenever you want.
Oh, thanks, man.
So we go to Gatwick Airport, near London. No, it's in London. Right. They say they can't contact Hassan, but Hassan has said that he'll call Jaffa once he's in the air and he's free. So he needs to convince Hassan, to stop.
Why does Jaffa have to convince him to stop?
Because he's already on the plane, right? He can just do whatever the fuck he likes.
Yeah, he's on a plane, but is he on a plane and does he have police around him? Is he under guard?
No, I don't think he is. Like, yeah, can they revoke it if it goes sideways?
Yeah, so Jaffa just goes, yeah, they've released me, so just continue with the plan because I'm released now.
I don't think that it's Jaffa's plan, this whole bomb thing, because I think he honestly thinks don't do this. This is mental.
Okay, yeah. So he's obviously just not as extreme a terrorist as.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That makes sense.
Because if he does it, we know now, post 9/11, if you do that kind of shit, the country that you come from will get bombed to shit forever until we kind of get bored and wander off.
Is Jaffa? Is he a terrorist or is he like the?
He's a terrorist.
He's not like the leader of the country.
No, he's not. No, he's a terrorist.
Okay.
Yeah, but the killing that many people seems to be like a step too far for him. So he's like, yeah, no, don't do this.
Fair enough. Okay, I was wondering about that, and the guy David Suchet basically says, "Yeah, fuck it, brilliant, you're free, that's great, but you're not the boss of me. I'm still going to blow the shit out of him."
Yeah, but not everyone on his team is on board with the plan.
Even his second in command.
Yeah,
because his entire team all just want to get Jaffa released.
Yeah, they think that's the plan, but he's like, no, we're doing this other thing. And they're like, excuse me, what?
We're all going to die. What?
And it's then when the military is like, okay, like now we might have to shoot this thing down. It's an executive decision. You can drink now.
Thank you. I have been drinking constantly, but
So Cappy and Cahill, they're digging deeper into the bomb, but it's got more fail safes and like lasers and all kinds of shit.
yeah, it turns out to be a decoy.
Decoys above decoys.
Because it does. He actually disarms it at one point. He's like, brilliant, and they're all celebrating it. Great, and then it just decides to go mental again. Oh fuck, it's a fucking decoy.
Yeah, it throws a hissy fit.
And then Cappy passes out again. Oh, for fuck's sake!
Yeah, which is helpful. So the fighter planes turn up and say, right, you have to fucking land. And the fighter planes drop back to take the shot, and the pilot hesitates. But luckily, they start doing Morse code through the tail lights.
Was it Wong who did the Morse code?
No, it's Baker and what's his name? Grant.
Okay.
Because they give like a coded message back saying, yeah, okay, well, you've got like an hour left or something like that. And Baker goes, he makes like a backhanded compliment about
No. Well, he said so. Baker sends a message via Morse code, which says Alpha 1, 10 minutes or something like that. And they're like, okay, Alpha 1. Oh, that's the fucking mission's code name. 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That the team must have made it on board, and they need 10 minutes more. Okay, and then they have a little argument. Like, can we really believe this? And then they go, okay, fine, we'll give.
because the line is like 7 minutes away.
Yeah, I think they were already over the line. They're like, "Can we wait 10 minutes?" Like, if they're on board, then we got a chance. We'll do it. And then, the guy gives a really backhanded compliment, saying, "Bloody hell! I take back all the random shit I said about these people. They actually understand Morse code.
About these dirty squabbies or something
Dirty
like that."
squabbies, yeah. So a bit harsh.
The guy who plays him, Baker, he was in Top Gun.
How was it?
Like a couple of years before. So he was a Navy pilot in that film. Thing is, they've got this plan to do this. They say, right, we need 10 minutes to do this thing. But then Grant just goes rogue and just walks into the main cabin of the plane in a hoodie.
Because he wanted more time, right? But they could only somehow because the Washington calls the plane, tells them that we can only give you 10 minutes. I think Grant wanted more time, and so he kind of panics a bit and says, "It's not enough time. I better try and take out the trigger man."
Like, he finds out the seat number from Halle Berry.
Yeah.
So he goes up he puts on a hoodie and he walks on. When I was only thinking this yesterday. Yeah, because have they clocked all of the passengers? Do they know, like, by face all the passengers? Because it's a double decker. It's it's not a double decker. It's a jumbo jet. So there's double deck at the front. Do they know by sight all of the passengers? Because just put on a hoodie and sneak onto an empty seat.
Yeah, actually, you could have done that ages ago.
And then you had freedom to walk around. Not like freedom to walk around because there's terrorists and shit, but like toilet breaks, you would have been able to walk around.
That's a really good point. Actually, he didn't even really need Halle Berry to kind of walk him there and hide him from.
Yeah,
because he could have just walked down like nonchalantly, like an actual one of the passengers. Just going back to my seat. Hi, terrorists. How's good? Nice guns.
Like, he could have instead of like pulling out the gun and trying to get like the Palm Pilot guy. It's not a Palm Pilot, by the way. Palm Pilots are the little like black and white iPads. I can't remember the name of them. They're like little tiny laptopy things.
Yeah,
but black and white. They used to be in the Argos catalog, but he could have been like walking down the aisle and like clocked it and gone, "Oh, fucking, I've seen one of them. Can I have a look?" Because I was thinking of getting one, like, I don't know, like personal planner, like digital assistant thing. Digital assistant. That's what we call Siri now.
But he also could have had just a gun in a. I don't know if he has a holster, but he had a gun hidden on him. And if he sees the guy with the Palm Pilot, he could have. But he walks down the entire aisle of the plane with his gun out.
Doesn't really matter though, because he biffs it completely because it's just some guy.
Yeah, with a load of diamonds.
I don't even think it needed to be like, how much fucking shit's going on this plane?
You got a fucking senator a dirty senator who's trying to negotiate his into power. Got a fucking diamond smuggler and terrorists and a bomb. What the fuck?
Fucking short straw on this plane. But like, it could have been just like, it's just a Palm Pilot. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah, it could have been a palm plant, it's not the bomb one.
Yeah, right. Because it's like mid-90s. These were in the Argos catalog. They were about 250 quid. Anyway, so he biffs it. It's not him. So and he's pulled a gun out and he's threatened a guy on a plane. So everyone's fucking screaming, and so he has to quickly have a look around, and then he immediately spots, as if he's singled out by spotlight,
Is it what
the guy from the photo earlier.
no, the reason and I'm probably wrong,
Yeah,
but it is playing right now in my silent version of the movie. He's looking around. No one is looking at him except for one person. It's that guy. But he like the way he's looking at him, like this is the worst secret trigger man ever, who you should probably try and conceal himself. But he's looking at him with a shocked expression of and like hate-filled eyes, shocked. That guy's got a gun. He's obviously really obviously staring at him in that kind of way.
Mm.
That's why, and then even the camera pans on his face like.
Yeah. I've got a note about extreme close-ups later. It's at this point that Grant just fucking dives for this guy, shoots the seat in front of him.
He clambers over about 3 hills of seats.
Yeah, I think this is the point that the air marshal decides to do something. He shoots one guy, then gets shot by another person almost immediately.
I'm not sure, but the guy shoots, does he save Grant's life? He saves one of the team's life by killing its terrorist.
Yeah.
So he picked his moment pretty well. Good air marshal.
He picked his moment pretty well. I don't think he dies. I think he's at the end as well.
He's all benched up at the end.
Yeah.
And then one of my favorite parts of the entire movie happens very soon. Continue.
Grant wrestles with the Palm Pilot guy for the Palm Pilot.
This is my favorite
part. Grant gets his foot stuck in a bin or something.
Yeah. But my favorite part is they're both reaching for the Palm Pilot, and they have like a little finger. They have like a finger wrestle.
Yeah, they have a little.
It's the only thing you can do to stop him again.
I hadn't written that down, but yeah, no, they do, don't they? They have a little.
It's fucking genius. It's such a good scene.
Dramatic zoom into an enter key.
But dramatic zoom into the Palm Pilot saying active bomb, and then into the guy's face going strenuous. I'm trying really hard with my finger fighting. And then right to Kurt Russell's face, strenuous face. Brilliant.
The finger fighter thing over the Palm Pilot. And his foot is stuck in a bin for some reason. But after that, he just gets up.
Yeah. Well, because the dangerous moment's passed. So he doesn't need to have his foot stuck in a bin anymore.
BD Wong, he shoots a terrorist. The terrorist dies, but the terrorist shoots his machine gun whilst dying, which blows a hole in the aeroplane.
Before that, the terrorist, the trigger guy actually manages to press the button.
Yes, he presses the button, but Cahill gets his straw in
just at the very last second,
which stops it detonating properly. Always like that bit. That's a good bit.
Yeah, and then the terrorist dies. And everyone goes flying. Brilliant scene of 2 people flying out the side of the plane.
Right, it's 3 people. It's an entire row of seats that gets sucked out of the window. So well done. We saved the plane, except for you 3. Tough luck.
And also like the bomb's a bit dodgy. The straw's not fully in. It's like because of the turbulence, the straw's gonna fall out.
Hassan on the top deck. Hassan gets confronted by rats. He shoots rats, and then he has like a confrontation with Grant, but Grant's not brought a gun because he's an idiot.
But didn't he have a gun?
I don't think he has a gun.
Well, I mean, he had a gun before. He had the one with the silencer.
But he was because he was finger fighting. Oh.
Yeah, good point. Never bring a finger to a gunfight.
Never bring a gun to a finger fight.
No, always bring a gun to a finger fight because you'll win. Never bring a finger to a gunfight.
I see you've played finger gun before.
So, I mean, obviously, this is the dramatic conclusion of the movie, right? Obviously, continue.
Yeah, a whole bunch of mad shit happens at this point. Rat shoots Hassan, but he waits conveniently for Hassan to shoot wildly into the cockpit first.
Yeah, and
killing both of the pilots.
So, first, Oliver Platt secures the bomb, so therefore the entire movie's finished at credits roll. But then Hassan is alive, so
After the pilots die, the plane begins to dive. Or after the hole is blown in the side, there's a bit of turbulence, and then the straw is about to fall out. And if the straw falls out of the bomb, the two metal cylinders touch, two metal cones touch, and then the bomb is detonated. So they have to push it in. But I would argue this plane fucking crash lands later, and all kinds of shit is thrown all over the place. It shows the bomb like flipping over and shit on top of Cappy.
but he put the straw an extra millimeter in further, so it's secure now.
All right, so yeah, no, okay, I stand corrected, but I'm also sat down, so I sit corrected also. No, that fucking thing should have blown up.
But the straw.
So now we have our main character who has to land a plane. Luckily, there was a scene right at the beginning where he was learning to fly a plane.
Oh fuck! I remember that.
He also biffs the first landing at the airport that he's
Actually,
going to.
I love the fact that he doesn't just land the plane, that he does again forgets lots of things. Oh fuck! The landing gear. Oh fuck! And it, like Halle Berry has to help with the instructions.
I like the fact that with this one, I like the fact that the gunfire has damaged most of the screens.
Yeah.
So a lot of the screens are down. There's a lot of alarms going off, but the alarms don't say anything. So as soon as he finishes, he solves one problem, another alarm goes off.
And he's like, "What the
all
fuck?"
Of the screens are down, so he can't really do anything. The one thing that I do know, because I've watched there's a YouTube channel called Mentor Pilot, where this guy who's an actual pilot, he goes through air disasters and stuff like that. Grant asked Halle Berry to get a file off the wall, look up the instructions on how to land, like the speed and the flaps and all that kind of things that you need. I know from watching that YouTube channel that information is there's a piece of paper on the stalk, the central control column.
Oh, really?
There's a piece of paper that has the specific information for the airport that you're landing at.
Oh,
for flaps and airspeed and like the
velocity and stuff, and
velocity, the signal points, the traffic markers that you're supposed to pass over at certain points, and how steep of attack and all that angle of attack and all that kind of stuff. That's on that a little tiny clipboard that's in the center of the steering column,
which is a really good idea, because if you have to flip through that massive fucking folder every time.
And it shows, whilst he's flying, it shows a close-up of him wrestling with the steering column. And it's got that little piece of paper stuck to it.
It's okay.
So he could have just read it off of that.
Yeah, but he doesn't know it's written there. He doesn't know that. He could have, if he just paid a bit more attention, yeah. But he was panicking.
Because it's the airport that the plane was originally going to, so that piece of paper has always been attached to the steering column, because it's not going anywhere else.
Yeah. Although when he biffs the landing, he ends up going to the next one he tries again is the other, so that wouldn't have the information. Then they would have had to use the massive book.
Then they would have to use the massive book, yes. But
the first time, not so much.
I do like the fact that he does biff the landing, and then they're like all the emergency crews like come out onto the airfield, and then they just look up and just watch this thing.
What the fuck are they doing?
But yeah, he goes to a small local airport. This is second small local airport that we've gone to, landing commercial airliners. This is a jumbo jet, though. It's bigger than passenger 57s.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
I don't think his airport would have been able to accept a jumbo jet going.
Wait,
it does go over. Yeah, no, I'll shut up.
It doesn't. He ends up destroying the entire runway, all of the planes that are parked there, and then ends up crashing into a sandbank.
Yeah, no, I was halfway through the sentence before realizing, oh yeah, no, he does fuck it up. Okay, the engines don't. He hits a bunch of planes, and the engines fall off, and it causes fire and all kinds of stuff.
I was a bit surprised that as he's mowing through all of those airplanes on the runway, he like the wing doesn't fall off, or the aeroplane explode, or the petrol in the airplane ignite, or the bomb or the straw between the two cones doesn't fall out, or something.
Yeah, the straw doesn't fall out. Yeah, I'm going to go with this main. The straw doesn't fall out, but the sandbank right at the end,
Yeah.
where the plane just fucking hits dead on. I think it should have blown up at that point. I know that kind of ruins the point of the film.
But actually, yeah, that would have been literally the worst case scenario because it would have the bomb would have gone off exactly where the terrorists wanted to.
Yeah.
But also the runway they actually land on. I don't know if this is stupid or not, but while he's putting on the brakes to stop the plane, and it's just the runway's muddy and wet, and it's like, isn't it supposed to be like tarmac? Why is it? It's like he's landing on a country little
I
path.
suppose so. I mean, they don't talk about what the weather is like, but you are right. It's covered in mud because it splashes on the rest of the plane, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, water, fair enough. Why is it muddy? This is the runway.
I don't know. But yeah, no, I've seen videos about that where planes crash because it's aquaplaning.
What's
Aquaplaning is where there's a thin sheet of, like, if it's been raining or something at the destination airport, a thin sheet of water remains between the wheels and the ground.
Yeah.
So that technically the plane isn't touching the ground; it's just touching water, so it can't stop properly.
Oh, so it just keeps going right off the runway.
Yeah, it keeps going right off the runway. It's very rare. That's a lot of times why tires have grooves and shit to stop that from happening. But yeah, it still happens. So yeah, anyway, I think this thing should have blown up. But no, everyone's safe. They all get off, and then he tries his hockey line again.
And she hates hockey.
She hates hockey. She's a baseball fan. So yeah, that's the end of the film. Credits.
Yep. It could have been at the end of the film about 3 ends of the films earlier.
Yeah. Is there anything that we haven't mentioned?
No, I think that was pretty. That was pretty much everything.
Pretty thorough. We were very thorough for Passenger 57, by the way. I think it was my 6 pages of notes. I tried to rein it back on this one, but passion for this film equaled out because I fucking love this film.
It's a great movie. And yeah, there are some really absurd moments, but one of my favorite things is that Steven Seagal dies.
It is one of the most obvious examples of saying the name of the movie in the movie.
Yeah.
Has there been any like film? There's not, like, post 9/11. We mentioned the fact that like Red Eye is made post 9/11, but we don't really get films like this anymore, do there? I know there's a what's it called? I know there's a Liam Neeson fight stuff on a plane film.
But it's not quite the same.
What's that film with Jodie Foster? Like Flight Plan or something like that?
Maybe I don't know. I know Flight Plan is a movie. I don't know if this is the Jodie Foster one. Maybe it is.
Yeah. But yeah, they doesn't come up often, these kind of films. So it's a nice little throwback. A time when it was real easy to get on planes with guns that you just kind of had to take apart but not separate the parts.
Because you get some I can't remember what movie it is where the only way they could smuggle a gun on a plane was to make it out of a 3D printer into plastic or ceramics. And so at this time, did they not have metal detectors?
I don't know, because they had those metal detectors like in a shopping mall in Passenger 57, which was made before this.
Exactly. No, what? This was made before. Oh no, you're right. Yeah. So yeah,
Passenger 57 is 92. I want to say 92.
So how did they get the definitely metal guns through the metal detector?
Yeah, right. Unless there's an inside guy who is Tom Sizemore. I don't know. Is there anything? Oh, what? How many points? What score would you give this?
So IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes was around 6.5 or something, wasn't it?
6.5, yeah, 6.5, 6.3.
Definitely too low.
Yeah.
Again, it's not like a masterpiece work of art, so I'm not going to give it 10 out of 10, obviously. But I'd be closer to 8, to be honest. It's a good movie, and yeah, there are some absurd like parts of it, but not in a bad way, even like a perfectly like a feasible, bit odd, but feasible at least. and they don't fuck up the not ending the movie. And they have so many surprise endings, but they do it in a tasteful way. Like Kurt Russell actually doesn't just land the plane like a hero; he fucks it up completely and just manages to do it. Like if this actually happened and he had to land a plane and he was successful, the only way that would end is to almost destroy everything, but just by bit of chance managed to survive, and that's what they did. And Steven Seagal died.
Are you going for 8 then?
I might even go a bit higher. No, I'm just gonna 8.
I'm going to stick at 8 as well. It's fully. I understand what this film is, and I appreciate and love the shit out of it. I'm going to go 8, and the minute it gets below 20, I'm not paying £20 for a fucking Blu-ray of this. If it drops to, and I'm not buying the fucking Steven Seagal box set,
even for £1.
But Carl, where can people find you if they so wish to?
Colin.gerard.92 on Instagram, or just my name, Colin Gerard, on Facebook. But I wouldn't recommend it. I'm fairly boring.
And I, on the other hand, I'm interesting as fuck. You can find me. You can find me on Twitter at TBA_tweets, and YouTube and TikTok at variations of the phrase "The Badger's Apprentice."
With or without the.
With or without the. All right. I'll see you next time, motherfuckers.
Peace out.